Today we are going to talk about the incident, the very sad or very bad incident, if you say, which happened in Mumbai, a serial train bomb blast, which was on 11th of July 2006. The incident was so massive that entire Mumbai was shook. But yes, as you know, the habit of Mumbaikars, whatever happens, Mumbai comes back to online. But today we have one very important guest with us. कहते हैं कि जिसके सर पर हो ऊपर वाले का हाथ, उसका कोई बाल बांका नहीं कर सकता. And yes, to prove that, we have with us Mr. William Joseph with us today in this talk show, who is from Vasai. Welcome, Mr. Williams, and it's very, very happy to see you after 9 years, stiff and strong. And I'm sure the incident which happened in the year 2006 was a bad incident. But rather than me speaking about it, I would really like you to say something about this incident, your experience. How do you feel after so many years? So my first question will be, Mr. Joseph, is just to know about yourself. How did you commit yourself, about your family, about your background, something? If you can just say something about to us,
sure,
it would be very good.
Okay, as he has already mentioned that my name is William Joseph, and in 2006 I remember that I joined this new office on the 7th, and our office that time was located in Santa Cruz East, and yeah, so in the morning I go from Vasai, take the train, and in the evening I come back. That was the routine, and just 4 days, and I think this happened on the 11th of July. And that particular day I remember that I had left the office a little early because there was some work at home, so it was not my usual train actually, so I left a little early. And also, if you want to know about my background, I am married, and I had, I think that 2006 I had only one child. Yeah, I had one son, so my daughter was born a few years later. So that is my background as a whole. Again, a routine day, 11th, and I'm sure when I left my home, I think I may not have imagined that that night I would be in a hospital, or I would have any kind of this kind of an incident. So I went to the office as usual, and since I was still new, I was learning my job, what I had to do. And that particular day, as I mentioned a little earlier, that I left a little early because there was work at home. So it was not my usual train. So I came to Andheri, and I took this train. I don't remember what time. It was like 5:50, 5:56 train it was, and it was quite crowded. So I somehow got into this first class compartment, and I got inside, and I was standing near the passage, not the main passage, but inside, and I was holding the bar and standing there. And I clearly remember there were these people, and generally in the Virat trains you have groups, and I remember this one elderly group, and that was the time, if I'm not mistaken, the World Cup was on, football. I think that was July, World Cup was on, and they were talking about the World Cup, the matches, and I was listening to all this conversation. Very interesting topic. They were talking about who was going to win, and some matches happened. And everybody seemed to be happy and talking and enjoying. And as we approached, I think we left Dahisar, and I believe it was between Mira Road and Bhainder, or Dahisar, I don't exactly know, somewhere near Mira Road. Suddenly there was a noise as a balloon bursting, but it was a bomb blast. It was, since I was in the train, my eardrums got, everybody's, I think, eardrum must have bursted because we can't take that loud noise. And I realized that I was holding the bar and standing, and suddenly I kind of bowed down because of the impact. And soon when I saw, I could see the sky. So I realized the roof has gone. For some few seconds, nobody knew what happened. and I saw at my left and right windows. I couldn't see any windows, and then when I looked at my leg, I was already down, and I realized I think there was a wrong path. I could see a lot of dead bodies on my leg, because I was trying to remove my leg out of the dead bodies, but I couldn't, so I had to let go of my shoes because it got infected. And I saw one gentleman who was sitting on the seat. He was raising his hands towards me and asking me to help him, because he was not able to get up because his legs had kind of got injured. And unfortunately, I couldn't do much because I myself was trapped and tangled with all these dead bodies. And I realized that this happy group of elderly people, I'm very sad. I think not many of them survived. We were talking about this, and I don't know really how many survived, but I think quite a few may have died in that blast. And so we were there. There was a lot of cries and cries for help, and people were kind of confused, and I could see people outside, but people were hesitant to come inside because fearing that there could be more blasts. They never know how many more bombs are there. So the Mumbaikars waited out, but you can't stop them for too long because they are always willing to help. Then slowly people started coming in, and some people helped me out of that dead bodies. I let go of my shoes, and then they took me out, and there was this one guy called Tushar. He was just a passerby. He was like an angel of God for me. He was there with me till somebody came from my home in the night. These few people came and took me out of the train, and they literally carried me with my hands and legs. And as I mentioned, there was this boy called Tushar. He's by profession, he was a teacher, and he was somewhere from Balgar, I believe. He had come for something, and he was there, and he said, "Don't worry, I am there with you." He took my bag, and I remember in the auto, I'm telling that my phone, I gave him my mobile number, and he somehow managed to find my wife's number, because I told him what I had mentioned in that. And they took us to Deepak Hospital, I believe that was the hospital there in Miraculous, and I was rushed to the hospital, and this Tushar was with the mobile, and he immediately called my wife, and then there was a big panic at home. That's a different story altogether, because they never imagined. And in the hospital when I went, there was again a commotion because a lot of other patients were being brought in, and so the doctor, I remember when I went to the doctor's clinic there, he took him, and I could feel some pain in my head, and it's only later I realized that he was actually stitching a rock on my head. There were some 5 or 6 stitches, and then they did some routine cleaning, and they shifted me to a bed, okay, and then I think after an hour or so, I think first my father-in-law came, because father-in-law stays in Bhainder, he was closest. My father-in-law came, and slowly my other relatives came. So this Tushar, he was there till somebody came from my home, and if he happens to watch this, I want to thank him. And I remember after this, I had called him to my home, and we had lunch together, lunch or dinner. And then later on I realized that he's going to get married. But somehow the number that he gave me, I'm not able to call him, because I wanted to call him. I wanted to give him a gift. So Tushar, wherever you are, please get in touch with me. So
I can only say, Mr. Joseph, is till after 6-9 years, the word Tushar is coming in your mouth, and that's a big gift that you're giving to him by remembering him a lot. I'm sure we cannot go back to that day and see what exactly happened and what was your condition. But yes, you have shared us something, the dress that you were wearing, the shirt and the trousers. So we would like to really show this to our audience and want them to imagine the situation, what happened with you at that moment of time. So here as you can see, this is the shirt, and while talking to Mr. Joseph, he told us that this is his lucky shirt that he was wearing. If you can see the condition of this shirt, like it's totally torn, and there were a lot of spots over here. In fact, he told us that he has washed it, and after seeing at this shirt, I can really think that what could be the condition of Mr. Joseph at that moment of time. What hurt or what pressure of impact that you must have got in that case. This is your shirt, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And you can see the condition of this trouser. It's totally torn. It's totally in a bad condition. It's like a skirt right now. It was a beautiful trouser that he was wearing, but right now it looks like something of fancy dress. And this was only because of the blast that happened during that day. Mr. Joseph, the trouser condition is so bad. What was the condition of your leg at that moment of time?
This is again, I totally believe this is the grace of God. Except for this hand injury, and there are some photographs which I have shown you. This hand and some stitches on my head and slight bruises. That's all. There's nothing actually happened to me, and I don't know what to say. I mean, it's just the grace of God. I remember that after I was discharged, and I think almost after 1 month, I was scratching my head. I could feel something on my head rough. So when I think went to the doctor, when he removed, there was a small metal part. So those things, those things are, because these bombs are, I believe, made of some metals and all that. That part was there, so they removed it. Otherwise, nothing happened to me. So.
As I told you in the beginning, while introducing you, जिसके सर हो ऊपर वाले का हाथ, उसका कोई बाल ना होता है. So do you really think that there was some positive energy which was in your body at that moment of time, or someone was trying to protect you?
I don't know about positive energy. The only thing, since I'm a Christian, I read the Bible and I believe the Bible. In Bible there is a psalm called 91. It's a scripture. It says, 1,000 may fall on your right and 1,000 may fall on your left, but no harm will come to you. That's the promise of God. So I believe, and it says the angel of God will encamp you and protect you. So I just believe that's what happened. Nothing else I can say.
Mr. Joseph, what is your message, or what message would you like to give to the people after 9 years of the journey, and what do you feel after 9 years right now?
I think first I would like to give the message to the terrorists. They must stop planting all these bombs, because I think this is not the way to showcase your cause. I hope that you all try some various other ways, peaceful ways to do that, because this is I don't know how you can trust that you are doing a favor to God, or you are doing it. I don't really understand that. To the people, I feel that all those people who are traveling, I think it's just the grace of God. I don't know how can even we protect ourselves. We don't know what will happen, anything. So I feel that be good, do good, and think good, and try to be a good citizen of the country. Try to help your neighbors and stuff like that. Otherwise, I really don't know how we can protect. I believe like all the people who go to work, if you come back safe at home, you can consider yourself a blessed man. It's like every day we go to a battle. Without train is nothing less. You hear so many stories of people falling off the train and stuff like that. So we are kind of every day we go for a battle. If you come back home safe, praise God. We thank the Lord. I hope our infrastructure improves, our train systems are better and stuff like that. And we get more comfortable. And maybe the security, if can be improved, and be able to detect all these plans of the terrorists. Yeah, I think Mumbai has again and again shown that wherever there is this kind of things, the people just come out and help. That is what I saw again in that bomb blast, and that is something amazing. And I want to really thank all the people who really came and helped. I'm sure God will bless them, and I hope that Mumbai keeps doing that, so that I think the next day things were actually back to normal kind of. People left. For me it was different. I had to take a break for almost 45 days. I couldn't go to work. And the first time I traveled, there was tremendous fear. Because the traveling in the train, it's like, what if there is a bomb?
It was like a trauma for you.
Trauma, yeah. I struggled with that for a couple of weeks or a month. And then now it's back to normal. Only when I suddenly, if I think, then it comes back. Otherwise, it's back to normal. Now 9 years, I've been working. Now our office has shifted from Santa Cruz to Goregaon. I'm still working for the same office. It's almost 9 years exactly. So things are, I'm still doing the train travel.
So as a person, what difference it had made, like today what you are now, that impact which was there. So as a person, what change that
now,
brought
I'll
in
tell
you?
you, that's interesting because after this blast, after I spent this, I got, got better and came back home. My wife made a very interesting comment. She said, it seems you have become very irritable. You have become a bad, not bad person in the sense you get angry a lot. That was something bad thing, but I don't know whether it's because of the blast or maybe it could be, I don't know, something, probably, but now she doesn't say that. Maybe that the next few years, I don't know whether it was frustration or anger or what, but my wife has told me this, that you have suddenly become very irritable, you get angry a lot, and you were not like that before the bomb blast. So that is one comment, but maybe that could be a part of, something, I don't know, something, the stress or the trauma could be, because I actually didn't go for any, what do you call that, trauma related, I didn't meet any doctors as such. Probably I should have, maybe I should have gone, I could have some treatment or something. So that was one thing, but by the grace of God, the healing, there was a healing, lot of healing. I think now I'm a better person, hopefully. My wife will not complain more.
As you told that your eardrums were damaged because of that blast sound.
Yeah.
So what is the situation at this point?
Yeah, the doctor said that I may need a surgery, but they also said that some cases it automatically, the nature has a way of getting it grown.
Recovery.
Yeah. So since I said that I was part of I'm Christian and we have church people, everybody started praying for me and I put this request. And I think again it's the grace of God that after a week or so when I met the doctor, he checked and he said, great, you don't need surgery because it is growing back and there is only a small tiny hole that will get healed. So I didn't have to go through any surgery. So,
just a question which I really would like to know, that the damage happened. It was like, the damage has happened. Yeah. It's very difficult to repair that. But during that time, the government has announced some compensation for you.
yeah.
So would you like to say something about that?
Yeah. Okay. Now, government. That was. They have done a very quick job. When I was still in the hospital, Deepak Hospital, I remember this police and few railway officials came and they took down my details and they wanted to verify whether I was generally in that compartment. And they asked me to take the photographs. So I remember that I was in my father-in-law's house and they got my Nalasopara address. They seems came with a check of 50,000 rupees, that was compensation, and they went to Nalasopara flat. They didn't find me and they didn't give up. Somehow they landed in my father-in-law's house. Till today I don't know how they found that address. I had not disclosed that address. So that way I really thank the railways and the other government that time, whatever, they gave me the check. And I again got another 50,000 check that was for, I don't know, something else. So yeah, I got 2 checks and so they did give the compensation.
It was great talking to you, Mr. Joseph. Your experience, your feelings, everything. I'm sure the viewers who are actually watching this video will definitely go back to that day and imagine what was the situation at that point of time. And I would say really thanks to you for sharing all this detail, the input of all the incident which happened. Thanks to God for keeping you safe and in a full peace, I can say, because yes, there were a lot of bad situations, a lot of dead bodies that we have seen. And you must have definitely crossed through a lot of trauma, but you came under control at that point of time. Thank you a lot once again, and may God be always behind you, save you at every moment of time, and give you a long life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.